I can't help but notice that in every significant moment of my life, there have been signs, road markers, little predictors that either confirm I am on the right path or gently nudge me to take a different turn. I haven't always had the skills to interpret them confidently in the moment, but in hindsight, their meaning often feels so obvious. Yesterday, on April 16th, 2025, I reached what I call my half-life mark, age 55 and a half. That's how I interpreted a sign I received from the universe 5.5 years ago. I'll tell the full story of that sign in a future episode, but today I want to share the vision I had been carrying of how I'd celebrate this milestone. In that mental image, I was in a beautiful apartment with tall windows and a balcony overlooking a vibrant mountain town like Boone in North Carolina. I had cleaned and decorated it, waiting for friends to come celebrate. It was getting dusky, so I had turned on the string lights around the windows and balcony, and music was playing through the surround sound system. There was still time before everyone arrived, so I filled the bathtub with hot water and slipped in, enjoying the moment. The balcony door was half open, letting the evening mix, the music I'd chosen and the sound of people and cars drifting up from the street. When the guests arrived, we shared stories and laughter. It's somewhat embarrassing to admit that the vision didn't come true. Yesterday, I was home alone scripting this episode 8, hoping to record and edit before bedtime. I didn't even watch my favorite home improvement show. I did take my daily 10,000 step walk shortly before sunset, listening to a podcast I had chosen out of curiosity. I'd seen a YouTube short featuring Dr. Gabor Mate and wanted to hear more. So I searched for him in my podcast app and found a conversation with Mel Robbins, the author of the 5-second rule. That conversation made me completely rethink episode 8. So today I had to start from scratch. Before scripting, I watched a few more interviews with Dr. Mate and learned that he published his first book at the age of 55, the beginning of his journey toward becoming a globally recognized expert. I'm into numbers, so naturally I took that as a sign. Launching this podcast at 55, learning about his journey at 55, it felt aligned. Maybe my quiet, solitary celebration was exactly how it needed to be, part of something I can't fully understand yet. Now, if this is the first episode you're listening to, I should tell you, this is a serial podcast, not episodic. It'll make you more sense if you start from episode 1. But if you're not in the mood to go back just yet, I'll give you a short and intentionally dry summary of the first 7 episodes after a quick intro. Why dry? Because all the juice will be squeezed out. This is the podcast Il Zebra's Transformations. I am the Il Zebra. The main purpose of this podcast is to continue journaling so that I keep healing. This is not a diary, meaning that my records won't necessarily reflect events in their chronological order, nor do I promise that the details will be accurate. If listening to my processing of traumas helps someone else along the way, I'll take it as having accomplished something for the higher good of all concerned. But now, without further ado, let's start. Dr. Paul Conti argues that the saying, "What doesn't kill us makes us stronger," is wrong in the context of trauma. Sooner or later, we all experience trauma, and we are designed to recover. But with repeated trauma, one seemingly insignificant traumatic event might be the last straw after which a person won't be the same. The person will look the same, and you and they will think they are the same. But profound changes will have occurred in their brain, and they will need to learn many things anew, like a person in a wheelchair who tries to learn to walk again. Thus, in the context of trauma, the saying, "What doesn't kill us makes us weaker," is right. In the previous episodes, I've been sharing fragments as if from a spinning mind, recycling memories, layering in new information, trying to make sense of what happened. I talk about a journaling method inspired by the internal family systems model developed by Dr. Richard Schwartz, a powerful tool for healing trauma. In this model, family doesn't mean relatives. It refers to the inner family of parts that live in all of us, the voices, moods, urges, and monologues that play out in our thoughts. According to the model, those internal dialogues and conflicts are carried out by different parts of us. To make this podcast more vivid and to show that it's perfectly normal to have inner conversations, I've enacted parts of Frost. Frost is a fictional character, a mother of two. Yes, that will make sense if you've listened to the earlier episodes. She's dealing with postpartum depression, trying to cope alone while raising two daughters after her second husband left her. She's also navigating random encounters with strangers who treat her with patriarchal arrogance or outright rudeness. Frost is the creation of a well-known Latvian author, Inga Gaile. I also introduced 3 real women, each with distinct way of expressing their truth. 2 may be familiar to American listeners, Dr. Laura and the New York Times best-selling author Laura Belgray. The third is well-known in Latvia, Linda Mūrniece, a journalist and politician who has served as both Minister of the Interior and Minister of Defense. This brings me to question: what's the best or safest way to share your voice, your truth? Is it by inventing a character like Inga Gaile did? By coaching others, even controversially, like Dr. Laura? By telling the truth with humor, like Laura Belgray? Or by wearing your heart on your sleeve and being as transparent as possible, like Linda Mūrniece? It's a rhetorical question, really. We're each unique. Our circumstances, our voices, and our comfort levels vary. There's no single right way. The style of this podcast is intentionally designed to mirror the way our minds work. Looping, leaping, jumping between memories and learnings, drawing connections, forming beliefs, trying to make sense of it all without overloading our inner processors. Before I continue sharing more of my truth or fiction in this chosen style, I want to return to the point I was trying to make. Yesterday, during my 10,000 plus step walk, while listening to Mel Robbins' conversation with Dr. Gabor Mate, something clicked. I suddenly understood why all my significant relationships have been so painful. By coaching Mel, Dr. Mattei helped me identify a childhood trauma, one specific event that may have shaped my entire life. So I find myself deeply grateful. Grateful that there wasn't a celebration with friends in a beautiful mountain apartment. Grateful that I had time alone to walk, listen, reflect, and feel this clarity. Maybe it sounds like I am trying to justify not achieving a goal by handing power over to some mysterious universal force, but I don't see it that way. It feels like I am in the flow. I'm attracting what is meant for me, not chasing or forcing it. And speaking of signs, ever since I first received the sign about my half-life birthday, 55.5, I have started seeing the number 1111 nearly every day. Sometimes multiple times a day. On my phone clock, on the microwave, on the odometer, even in weird, unexpected places. It usually happens when I glance without meaning to, as if I'm being tapped on a shoulder. At first I took screenshots and photos of each one until I had too many to keep up with. I still have a folder full of them, appropriately titled. Now I only take a photo occasionally to remind myself the process is ongoing. But what is that process? I asked my Instagram followers in my private account what they thought 1111 means. Here are a couple of responses. Seeing the number sequence 1111 repeatedly can be interpreted as a spiritual or cosmic sign. According to various sources, 1111 is a master number, a direct channel to your intuition, and a sign that you are connected to your higher self. It is believed to mean your thoughts are manifesting rapidly, so it's important to stay focused and intentional. Some say it's like a high five from the universe, a rare moment when your soul's voice comes through more clearly. Another person said 1111 represents the tarot card, Four of Wands, often interpreted as a celebration of a new beginning, perhaps even a wedding. And I ask myself, am I mentally ready for a fourth marriage after 3 painful ones? In his interview with Paul Brunson, Dr. Gabor Maté said something that hit me hard. You always marry somebody that's going to trigger for you every unhappiness that you ever had in your childhood. When we find someone to be in a relationship with, it happens on 2 levels. One level is, I find them attractive, they are fun, we connect, and that's important. But underneath, there's something else. A longing for the love we never got in the first place. Relationships are very much about growing up together, if that's possible. But I guarantee you, when you marry somebody, you are going to find both your dream and your worst nightmare. It is a deep question, I ask myself, and this question doesn't require a public answer, I know. But I will share what's on my mind now after hearing this. Dr. Mattei said, we're longing for love we never received. So I believe that's an ongoing process. which we all experience, but not all will admit. So if I am ever proposed to again, I'll check in with my gut and ask if we can grow together the way Dr. Mattei describes. I'll make sure I'm not drawn to say yes out of some fear or to fill the void inside me, nor will I say yes to someone who is hoping to fill their void either. Trusting my gut, not my brain, to me, would be the only way forward. And yes, there will be no guarantees of success. The only guarantee is that there will be nightmares. You've been listening to the podcast of Ilse B. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and share it to show me your support and help me grow. If you want to learn more about me, my causes, my products, and my services, please visit my website ilzebe.com. That's ILZEBE.com. Disclaimers. In this podcast, I talk about mental and physical health and what has helped me to heal. Nothing that I say should be regarded as medical advice. If you have any medical condition, consult your doctor. Also, I'm an artist and storyteller. I'm sharing my stories because that's what artistic people do. Take it as fiction and as a form of my art. Even though I may sound as if I'm recalling events from my past, I don't confirm they actually happened. And if they did, I'm not blaming or accusing anyone, nor should you. I take all my life lessons with gratitude, trusting that they are given to me to expand my soul.